You're about to cause all sorts of issues in Camden. I'm literally putting parsley on the top so you can't see the rice.
Oh God! Oh.
I'm going to set myself on fire. Social media and food have always been one and the same, and never more so than right here today. We've got Harry Hugo, co-founder of the Goat Agency, taking on Jack Francis, social media manager at eBay. Jack, it's a pleasure to meet you as well, sir.
Good to meet you.
Not so much you, I see you nearly every day.
Cheers.
They're going to be taking on and creating their greatest of all time curry. Let's see what they can do in 30 minutes.
I've got a chicken, chickpea, lentil sort of concoction. I'm worried about the rice because I haven't cooked rice from fresh for a long, long time. So I'm worried about that. Jack, what have you managed to pull together? You've got limited ingredients.
It's pretty stripped back. It's it's a tomato-based curry. It's hearty. I've cooked it a bunch of times, but I shouldn't have said that. But yeah.
You're confident?
I'm nervous about the rice as well, but relatively confident.
30 minutes, you feel good?
Yeah.
You've got 30 minutes. Don't get carried away.
Very good.
Yeah, I thought that'd be good.
You've been working on that for hours.
Yeah, look, that's been in the memory banks. 30 minutes on the clock. Let's go.
I'll start with some hot water and a question for you. You started agency side, now you're brand side. What's the main difference?
I guess the pace of every single day and how you approach things. It's often a lot slower brand side in the sense that there's much more to think about. Like I enjoyed and I still do enjoy the creative side of marketing and working on sort of multiple things at once. But there's a lot more to sort of factor in when you're in a brand side. Speak to so many different departments of people that work at eBay, people that don't have a clue about marketing. When you work at an agency, hopefully everyone knows about marketing. So that's the difference. It's sort of like appealing to, I guess, different people around the business, explaining things a little bit more, the reasoning that goes into it. And
how sort of social first do you feel eBay are in the grand scheme of things? They feel like a forward-thinking brand to a degree, right? And there's certainly lots of things you've done in the last couple of years.
Talking about branding, get the name, just get that.
Very good, very good. I'm actually delighted you brought it over.
There you go.
Stain.
Hygiene as well, we don't want to ruin that, so there you go.
There's a lot of things you've done over the last couple of years that have been really popular online as sustainability becomes more and more talked about, and obviously the most talked about of which is the Love Island stuff. How do you guys get involved in that, and why? Why did Love Island come up as the opportunity?
I think culturally it's a big talking point in the UK, right? And it's something that we've always looked at and identified as something that eBay has the right to talk about. There's tons of people that sort of care about that type of thing and a very passionate community around circularity, pre-loved fashion, all that type of stuff. And we're very lucky that the whole sort of leadership team, as a marketing team, we try and find sort of solutions rather than problems. So it's not like why we can't do something or sort of barriers that we'll run into. It's like, how can we do this? And working with PR, working with loads of different teams, it's like how we can bring it to life and how we can make a splash effectively.
And it's been incredibly successful for you guys, and that repositioning part has been what I feel like is the most important thing for eBay, the brand.
Yeah.
It's been around for so long, it was so synonymous with Web 1.0.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of 10, 15 years past where that was in its original form. Where do you think eBay is positioned in the wider net ecosystem now versus all the other marketplaces and different things that you guys are competing against?
We're often considered the sort of OG marketplace, and there's a lot of competitors. There's there's a lot of your Depop's and those types of companies at the moment. So there's a real urgency to effectively keep evolving, keep talking about fresh things, and also just committing to stuff. I think that's, even outside of eBay, that's something that I valued in marketing. There's no point doing a flash in the pan. If you care about something as a brand, as a team, you commit to it and think what else you can do in that space is a valuable use of time. Otherwise, I think we're always aware of what else is going on in the market, and just trying to stand out and also say things that are genuine to the brand. So speaking to how people sell clothes these days, how people talk, and what matters to them. So that's whether we do events, whether it's stuff we do on social, the people that we partner with. I think it's yeah, it's an important part of like how we approach any campaign, even just like day-to-day runnings of things on social media, to be honest. I'm clearly very good at multitasking. But
well. You've cut onions so far.
Yeah, exactly. You've got onions cut.
One of the most important thing that we want to talk about, and something that like as a UK team we're really passionate about, is the stories behind why products are sold, businesses that are made on places like eBay, and like what started those, and sort of the passion points. I think that's something that's really exciting. And one of the things
sort of B2B like marketing, because you're trying to attract businesses, because you've obviously got a load of users from a buyer's perspective, but you're obviously trying to get more people in to try and sell different things.
Yeah, I mean, it's both, really. I mean, you've got people their livelihood can exist on eBay, but then you've also got people that do things as projects on the side. So it's all about sort of, like telling these stories and sort of highlighting not only where like people can shop from, but whether you want to set up a business on eBay, whether you want to do something on the side, which is a bit sort of...
That's the thing. I think that what comes across in the socials that you do is that you showcase all the different things that you can do, because there's a lot of people, like, even for me, like I've sold one thing, I think, on eBay in my life. I've bought more, definitely, but I don't think that I think about people that genuinely do see this as a place where their entire business lives, you know, like this is somewhere where, you know, away from the big brands that might sell things that, they're looking to offload, but there's people that are actually creating things and using that as their main marketplace, which
Exactly.
Some scissors, and I know they're in the top drawer there.
Scissors.
Off Passata.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm not using your sort of your paste.
The tins and the okay.
As good as Lloyd Grossman is.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the tikka masala paste. That's great. No, that's ingenious. That's cutting down your times. I mean, my biggest concern is that water not being on still. But look, I'm trusting. Look.
You're here to help, and
well, I'm sort of getting in the way. Do you guys want me to grab anything? Or?
So talking about the business.
You could put some water in that if you like.
Water. Perfect. I can do that.
What the weirdest things that you've seen listed on eBay that work? Because you obviously see loads of different businesses, or maybe not the weirdest, well, maybe the thing that you weren't expecting to be as successful as it is.
I mean, we get all sorts of strange things. I mean, that's one of the nice things about sort of working at eBay. I remember a few weeks ago, someone had, I don't know if it was quite an original, but they had a pretty much bang-on version of the Mr. Blobby outfit from back in the day.
Yeah,
and
good times. Better days. Now you get stuck with this stuff on social media.
So that ended up selling for a fair bit, and we get, there's lots of different communities. Whether it's like, I remember last year there was Guy Fawkes, and there was a sort of limited edition coin, and was selling for thousands. So, no day's the same really in terms of what's selling, what we learn about, what we kind of have to react to, I guess, is always good fun.
How do you embrace that on the eBay social channels versus how do you pick up those things? You get tagged in things by people? Have you got an ambassador scheme of different businesses? Like, how do you guys actually get to know what's going on in the eBay ecosystem, because it's so big?
Yeah. I mean, we try to catch things as quick as we can. But luckily, we work very closely with PR, with customer service, to spot these sort of opportunities where we can be like, okay, there is something we can do here, or we can react to it.
And what are the channels that you really, really focus on? Like, where is your audience as eBay? I appreciate, again, huge platform. Your audience is pretty much everywhere. But where do you focus, especially in 2023? Is TikTok a focus for you guys now, as much as maybe Facebook was 5 years ago?
To me, TikTok is really the main opportunity to strike that virality. And we've had good success with how we've tapped into working with the Islanders on Love Island and producing content there, and just showing up for our sellers and how we talk about them. So it's like probably the best platform for us to experiment and see what our community wants, see what we can produce, and have a bit of fun. I guess that's like the main thing. It's like marketing. You can experiment. You can have that play around if you want.
Yeah.
So
talking about the Islanders, Tash was obviously your first
Indeed,
move into that kind of sustainability ambassador. You've just announced another one, Tom, from the latest incarnation of Love Island. What's been the impact of having somebody that's so culturally relevant talking about sustainable clothing? And obviously the fashion side of your business is growing hugely at a very, very quick rate because of that and other things.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really important, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it's like working with these people that not only care about the same mission, it's like aligning with what you care about as a brand and what we care about as a team, and then what that person stands for and what they represent. Yeah, it's really important to make sure it lines up in that way, and then you can it's authentic, you know. Like I was saying, it's people see through stuff that's not genuine. If you work with someone and then all of a sudden they disappear, or for some reason it feels forced, I'm not a fan of it in any way. So where you can have these sort of long-term relationships with people, and you know, go on that journey together, I think is a lot more impactful, effectively.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I think with the sustainability like key focus right now, that's obviously going to be really well received from a generation of people that maybe wouldn't have traditionally seen eBay as a brand that they aligned with.
Yeah.
But now with that Love Island partnership, and I appreciate that's obviously why you guys did it, that's changing massively.
Yeah, it's a case of just like constantly, I guess, appealing to younger generations, constantly sort of like understanding what's important to them and telling these stories. So I think like that's what we achieve, you know. It's trying to tell stories as much as we can.
15 minutes, gents.
Okay.
15 minutes.
Mine looks like a
How
curry.
you feeling about that?
Yeah,
mine looks like a curry.
His looks a lot more like a curry.
I
than
need mine to cook now.
I'm not concerned about this.
Yeah?
No, I'm not concerned about that at all.
Well, that's the main thing.
Well, actually, quite a brown on the onion going on there. So you might want to turn it down a little bit. I don't know. That's up to you. That's my preference.
I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm ahead of the clock, I think, which I didn't think I would be.
I'm just moving this about for you.
I'm still worried about this.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Because I'm not 100%.
Oh, there you go. Oh, perfect.
I'm not
Look
100%.
at that. Didn't even have to say it. Thinking it, but he's gone for it. As I said, you've got under 15 minutes now, so
Okay.
be planning up what next steps are.
Okie dokie.
Did you see yourself in like social media from a youngish age? Like, is that what you've always wanted to do? Or was there something else that was before that?
Not
for me,
like-
for me, it was journalism.
Journalism. Funny enough, so was I. Like, I think I'm not. I'll be the first to admit that I wasn't like overly academic at school, and a little bit of a class clown. So normal sort of education and stuff was like, I enjoyed like theatre studies, English, all the sort of creative side of things. And thought, like journalist seems like a good fun gig, and like I'll try and get into that. Did a little bit of research, and I was like, quite cutthroat and a little bit sort of like, I don't know, a little aggressive compared to what I really fancied. So then I remember looking at universities and didn't want to really go through that. And if I didn't have to,
go to uni?
No, I didn't go to uni.
Yeah,
managed to find, I think I was 18 at the time, managed to find a social media apprenticeship for a tiny agency that sadly aren't around anymore. But
that's a great way to like blood yourself in, right?
Exactly.
You get to do everything at a business.
100%. There was literally like 4 of us, and we were sort of, I remember, how a lot of agencies start sort of like in the local area doing like social media for pubs, restaurants, like the local vet, like all that type of stuff. It was actually really good fun, It's like you said, you really get chucked in, and I'm editing photos, like pitching to clients, all that type of stuff rolled into one, and probably doing some very awful marketing in the mix. But
absolutely, who hasn't? In their career?
Exactly.
But what do you think that those formative years were so important for you to be able to go in and do what you're doing now?
100%. Like. And there's a lot of volunteering work that goes on around eBay, and we speak to sort of up and coming generations in terms of like careers or even selling on eBay. And it's like, I never want to bad talk or bad mouth rather universities in that sense. But I don't think it should be the default. When people are looking at creative industries, you don't need
I agree.
a degree to run a social media account, or market for a brand. So it's important for people to know these types of things are out there.
Yeah, I didn't go to university for the same reason. Like, just saw it as an opportunity to get out there in the wide world. How do you think I'm doing here?
I think it's coming together beautifully.
The voice is now on over here.
Yeah, no, I know. My panic's off over that, so that's fine.
I'm trying to think. I'm starting to think about my plating. How long have I got?
I would say you've probably got around 12 minutes.
Okay.
So you got about.
You're like
12
literally
minutes.
12 minutes is basically rice time.
Yeah.
You're leaving it very fine.
Yeah. That's fine.
Let's sweeten out with some honey in there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I was going to ask you whether you were a part of the Roberto Carlos campaign because that was the one bit of that was the one bit of social media that last year I just remember seeing him run on for Sunday League.
He's coming on, the legend that is Roberto Carlos for the Bull in the Barn United. Add that to your CV, Roberto.
It was absolutely fantastic. So were you a part of that?
I was, luckily. Like, that was one of those
Must have been
scenarios.
pretty early on in your
Literally
eBay life.
It was,
Really?
it was really fun. And like, it's one of those things where you guys must have this. You speak to mates and they're like, "That's your job?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just you know."
all the time.
Exactly. And it's one of those things. Like I said, the team are really sort of supportive at eBay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to get this heat up.
Just a tad.
Yeah, they're supportive, and it was like, could we do this? Like, is there enough sort of like energy, like, and sort of like fuss around that type of thing? And it all linked really nicely together. You know, we work closely as eBay with the Football League.
Just generally, like, that's going to get headlines, which is fantastic. But off the back of that, is there any sort of like a dream partnership that you'd like to do, like with a different partner? Like you've mentioned the Football League, but is there something that you could see eBay like fitting into, like specifically, or?
I don't know. I mean, we did some work a few months ago with classic football shirts. And I don't know
Great,
Yeah, great guy.
and again, like if I'm being biased, I'm a big football fan.
Right.
Really nice story around how those guys started.
Yeah.
But also just a cool culture, like classic football shirts and
Well, of
that sort
course,
of.
It taps into the true football
Exactly.
fan, right?
Yeah,
and it
100%.
taps into what eBay is really.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
it is for people that collect. Like I was talking about things I buy on eBay. Like if I've literally been put on a ban by my girlfriend that if I buy another West Ham shirt, I'm pretty much done. Like I don't think if I take up any more wardrobe space with that, there's going to be hell to pay. But
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things, but it's just fantastic to see that, you know, from those guys that you've got something that is so true to the brand that's come good, like you mentioned. But
Yeah, it's like, if I could do more of like, well, if we could do more in that football space and it's like, and the right opportunity sort of comes along, I think it'd be amazing. Also, like, it takes me back to sort of childhood. Like we showed up at Comic-Con last year and I knew like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards were still popular.
Yes.
But I had no idea
How big
the community was behind that type
But I
of
think
thing.
that's a
And-
good example of social in general and like why influence has been so successful over the course of the last 10 years because they've tapped into those audiences when they are really niche, and Comic-Con's a great example of that, right? Where niche interest in general, but huge mainstream attraction for a certain interest group.
100%, yeah. It was.
I'll tell you what, this rice is looking all right.
how much of the paste did you put in?
The
a little teaspoon.
A teaspoon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You liked how hot do you like your curries? Sam?
I'm normally a booner man.
Okay.
I'm a booner.
It's probably at Booner level right now.
Yeah. I like a.
You
I
catering
like
for the host, or?
Well, I know where the points are scored. So what do you cook at home?
I cook a lot of like I'm big
Curries?
on. Funny enough, yeah.
Not under time pressure.
Yeah. I'm like curry. I'm big on Asian food, to be fair. I just find it
Okay.
like
Yeah,
so
same.
flavoursome. Whether it's like stir fries, and it's like I remember when I moved to London, or back to London. I grew up like northwest London, but like came back like almost 6 years ago. Hadn't gone to uni, so I went from like living with my mum to like basically how do I cook raw
3
chicken?
minutes, gents.
3
Okay.
minutes. All right.
Yogurt
all right.
still out or not?
No,
No?
I'm good. Thank you though. This thing's having a whale of a time with the rice. Okay.
Yeah, you could be looking at Civ City in there.
Is this 3 minutes until plating up? Or 3 minutes.
3 minutes done.
3 minutes done.
On the plate.
Okay.
You're about to cause all sorts of issues in
So
in Camden.
90 seconds.
Woohoo!
Okay, I'm not going to be able to achieve what I thought I was going to be able to achieve with this rice.
No.
No. It looks incredibly overcooked.
Great. You've got 1 minute. 1 minute.
I'd say wet would be my description of this rice.
Good. Love wet food. Love it. Great.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Perfect. Rice going into a bowl over here.
This is your real test now. This
You've
is
got 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
30 seconds. Oh, there's food going into bowls, gents. There's no worries here.
consistency awful.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Get the I'm literally putting parsley on the top so you can't see the rice.
2.
Oh God! Oh.
There you go. I'm going to set myself on
right,
fire,
all right.
and this is the longest 1 second that I've ever given you.
There we go.
And it's 1. Oh God, there's a little bit of cream gone on. There we go.
Well done.
There are 2 curries in front of me, and you know what?
They actually
Both
look
of them
quite
look
good.
really,
Your
really
rice has
good.
come out way better than
That
mine.
rice looks beautiful. I'm not going to lie.
I've thrown parsley on the top, just so you can't see the
Yeah,
consistency
you've
of the rice.
gone really for cover the presentation here. So
Yeah, both of them actually look really good.
yeah, let's clean down a little bit, and then we'll get to the taste test, and we'll find out how they both fare.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
We've cleared down now. My favourite part, it's coming down to the taste test. Gentlemen, they both look great. They both look really
Two
good.
different takes, more saucy.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because I'm not going to lie to you.
That speaks to you.
That speaks to me because there's sauce.
Start over there.
I'll start over here.
It all came together in the last sort of 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's what I mean. The technique actually is pretty good because I'm gonna say that you're probably getting about an 8 there because there were moments where I was worried for you. Like, I was
worried
worried about
myself.
the fact, and I was scared that I was putting you off with the rice because yeah.
Good.
Also, the interesting thing, you've used chicken thighs, which hold all that flavour when you're doing a curry and stuff like that, because that's why, for people that use breasts, like amateurs, they're not going to get the flavour that you'd get off of a chicken
That's
thigh.
why you marinate your chicken pre-cooked.
You could do that. Technique, 8. Presentation, again, looks fantastic. I'll give you an 8 on that one. As for the taste, I'm giving you a 9. Giving you a 9.
Wow! I'm in trouble.
Here we go.
Yeah,
really like the colour of the rice.
Love the colour of the rice.
However, I'm a little bit worried.
It's masking the taste.
I'm a little bit worried that I've cut into it and it's come away as a chunk, in a sense that there's not many individual grains. They're sticking together.
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
Sticky turmeric rice.
It's overdone,
Grossly.
which we did say was a concern. It's a very different curry by look and taste. It's a really nice curry. Oh, that's a lot of heat though.
It's a bit spicy. We've got chickpeas in there, we've got
There's
lentils
chickpeas,
in there.
there's lentils, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
The combination, maybe it makes up for the terrible rice.
It's good because the rice then takes an edge off of that as well, the
Needs
spice. And it needs to, because I'm not gonna lie, after a good few mouthfuls, it is hot. Presentation, I think your presentation's right up there. I'm gonna give you presentation probably about a 9. Taste, I'm gonna bring you down slightly, just at a 7.
Yeah, I hear you.
Your technique, I'm probably gonna give you, I'm gonna give you a 6 because of the rice.
Yeah, and
I think it's
I
overcooked.
can't
So
argue.
I'm not gonna lie, Jack, you're taking it
Well
today.
done. Well done.
Congratulations.
It looks
it's
great.
deserved. It looks great. It tastes great. It's something I would probably order. That's everything for today. Those were our greatest of all time curries. Thank you so much, Jack, for coming in today. Really appreciate it.
No
Can't
problem.
shake your hand enough today. We'll see you next time for the next dish.